Okay, so what time is it correct to add more sales staff? Well, if you're a private equity backed company and you've got some cash and you know what you're doing, the right time to hire salespeople is from the beginning. In fact, David Javahari, who is our one of our Better Your Best winners, when he started his IT company, he hired the first hires he made was a couple of sales guys, right? That's scary for a lot of people. Robert Herjavec, when he started the Herjavec Group, which is now SDRs, it was him, George Frempong, another guy named, I think Sean's last name was Hutchins, but I'm not sure about that. Sean was the tech, and both George and Robert were salespeople, and they had a secretary. And so you had, one engineer and you had two salespeople. And so definitely sooner rather than later if you want to grow. That's really the key. You hire salespeople when you want to grow, right? Now, another thing I would say is, so then you say, well, who do you hire first? Well, if you're smaller, then, one of your very first sales hires would be an SDR like Sam that was just on, because a good SDR will sit there and beat the bushes and find opportunities and follow up with inbound leads and follow up with referrals and follow up with marketing campaigns that you're doing. So good SDR can be just sitting there cranking all day, booking appointments, and, they should be able to book at least 8 good appointments a month for you if they're working full time. I mean, obviously, how many they book depends on a lot of things, the quality of the list, the marketing that's going out, the relationship with the list. Are they inbound leads? Are they cold outbound? But, in general, they should be booking about 8 appointments or more every month with new prospective customers. So an SDR would be an essential hire early on when you're trying to build and scale. Once you get about 20 to 25 managed clients where they are, substantial, right? Where, $2,000-$3,000 a month, let's even say, right? Once you get there, then you definitely want to hire an account manager. Now, an account manager is going to be the one that's going to be helping you put together a roadmap and a budget. They're going to work with the engineering department. They're going to work with your through onboarding, the onboarding staff. They're going to put in place for every client. Okay, here's our roadmap of projects we need to roll out quarter over quarter. Here's the IT budget for you. It's things like what they're going to have to spend based on growth, based on risk, based on projects, and so forth. So then once you get to there, you want to have like 20, 25 accounts. You're going to be hiring that account manager, because they're going to be dealing with probably about, $800,000-$900,000 in MRR. And at that point, again, service leadership Paul Sissel number is for every $1,000 of MRR that you're going to have, you're going to get $60,000 in projects. So let's say you've got 20, I'm going to do some math here, my calculator. Let's say you've got 25 clients that are on average spending about $3,000 a month in MRR. That's $75,000 a month times 12 months. So that's about $900,000 total in ARR, annual recurring revenue. And if that's the case, you're going to be generating about $540,000 in projects. And your account manager is the one who is going to map out that roadmap of here's the projects we're going to do over the next 12 months. They're going to create that budget, an IT budget for your clients. And then they're going to manage that process and meet with their customers every quarter and ongoing as necessary to maintain the relationship, troubleshoot any problems, help with billing issues, et cetera, because if you're doing if you've got 25 clients, that's 100 meetings, 100 QBRs a year. And if you're running a company, if you're the CEO owner, you will not be able to do that with all clients. So it'll end up being not QBRs, but like every once in a while Rs, whatever that is, and you'll end up cherry picking a few clients and doing it for them and not doing it for the rest. And it just goes all to hell in a handbasket. So SDR at first, then an account manager, because usually you, the owner, can do closed sales. If you have an account manager kind of in an onboarding team that you can hand the sale off to, you can do that for a while. And then at some point when you want to really scale up, then you're going to hire a full-time outside salesperson. And then you're going to be adding additional SDRs as needed, account managers as needed, outside sales hunters. And what a lot of my clients will do is once they get to the point of hiring an outside sales hunter, they'll typically have the SDR, the marketing team developing leads, and they're responsible for developing some of their own leads, but anything that's $1,000 a month, $1,200 a month or less, they let their outside sales rep go ahead and handle that. Anything bigger than that, they will either handle themselves or they'll work with the sales rep, in conjunction until you start building a team. So again, at what point do you hire more sales staff? You hire them when you want to grow. And that's like today, an SDR will help you grow for sure. You get somebody who's sitting there dialing and working your list and inbound leads and referrals and following up on marketing campaigns and driving appointments in, you're going to drive growth. Okay. So that's, that would be by far my very first hire. The reality is with an SDR, you got to understand it is an entry-level sales position, right? It's kind of like any entry-level position, except making calls like that sometimes wears on people. So there is a much higher churn rate with an SDR than most other positions you're going to hire for, right? Like I can hire entry-level people to do admin work, and I hire entry-level people to do sales work, and the sales will always be a higher churn because it's just a harder job than being, like, say, a secretary, right? And, people who tend to take a secretary's job, they don't want a lot of stress, and they're happy just to make a little bit of money, and, they're not ambitious in climbing the ladder.
Yeah.
With SDRs, they're either ambitious and they're using this to get experience to grow. So you will lose them, some of the good ones, if you don't give them an opportunity to grow up in your organization and make more money in your organization. If they're good, you'll lose them to someone else because I have a lot of SDRs that are young, smart, out of college, ambitious. Like that is my SDR team. And they say in the interview, I'm here to get experience. I'm not going to stay. They're actually, if I can't show them how to grow in the organization, I'll lose them. So you just, now in your company, if you're just hiring an SDR for the first time, where you could show them the path is maybe they could move up to like a senior SDR and recruit and help you train new ones and make more money. They could move up into account management. They could move up in outside sales, right? So you want to, that's kind of my recruiting strategy is I'm not just trying to put a body in there. My sales pitch, my unique selling proposition to an SDR is we are a growing company. We have opportunity to grow. We're going to train you like you've never been trained. We have great marketing. We have great sales leadership. You will learn here. And I even say this to my sales team when I'm on my Monday meeting. I said, guys, you should never take a job just for the income. You should take a job because it's going to teach you something you can use later on. I said, because if you guys decide you want to start a business later on, or maybe you leave here and you're going to do sales somewhere else, here's what I can promise you. You will look back to what you learned working here and you will say that benefited me greatly and it's helped me to get where I am today. Now I want you all to stay and grow and thrive here, but that's just not the reality. So I think when you're looking for a new SDR, you want that young, ambitious person that's looking for the experience who wants to grow.